Microsoft's purpose is in service of your purpose.
And again, 2024 is the year that partners come out as the leading edge of the spear on finding this buyer intent.
You show up to every meeting and demonstrate why you are relevant.
Every day I have to force myself to make sure that I'm taking one step ahead in terms of my own learning.
That flywheel of success is where you will build momentum, and that momentum will continue, and then you feed into the other systems to say, this is what we did, this is how we did it together.
Welcome back to another episode of The Ultimate Guide to Partnering. Today we have a unique feature. You see, in November of 2023, over 300 Microsoft partners, leaders, experts from Microsoft, and ambassadors all assembled in Dallas, Texas for what was 2 days of incredible content. I still receive feedback from people that attended the event that it was one of the best sessions they've ever attended. And today we're going to bring you back to November to an incredible session with Kevin Peesker, the leader of Microsoft's small, medium, and corporate business, where he takes us on a journey through technology and the advent of AI, and why the SMC business, over a $75 billion business within Microsoft, is a rich acre of diamonds for partners to grow their business. I hope you enjoy this session as much as I enjoyed spending time with Kevin Peesker and bringing this amazing content to you, our listeners. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for following The Ultimate Guide to Partnering.
All right, it's been a long day already for you, hasn't it? Thank you for hanging in there. It's absolutely exceptional for you to come and visit us here at our Dallas site. And can I get a little permission? Because it's kind of the end of the day. I started off at 6. I don't know about you guys. Started off at 6. I would love if we could just interact a little bit together today. Would that be okay? If we could pretend just for a mere moment that we are all one, that we are one happy family, that we're mums and dads and brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles, and that we are all happy, and it's not Thanksgiving, we're fighting about the turkey or anything like that. We're just happy. Is that okay? Can we do that? Oh my gosh, that's okay. That's one load off my mind. All right, here's where it's at. My name is Kevin Peesker. I have just the most incredible honor to represent the team at Microsoft that engages with the corporate customers globally. We serve over 180 countries around the world. We serve, I'll show you some stats, but we serve a lot of customers. We generate for Microsoft with you, $60 billion plus of revenue. We operate this business end to end with an end-to-end view, which includes a P&L that has operating expense of about $5 billion US. Now, I know for you, those are small numbers, but for me, that's a lot. Wow, 5 billion, 5,000 million. And the joy of what we do is connected deeply to our mission. So here's where we're gonna go in the next little bit of time is I'm gonna say some stuff. And then Vince is gonna come up and ask me a couple of questions. I don't know what they are. And then we're gonna open it up to Q&A. That's the agenda. With the stuff I'm going to say, I am going to open the doors of Microsoft to share with you how, when we think about the $60 billion business that we run around the planet, how we think about our strategy and how deeply interconnected that strategy is with each of you in your organizations. So I'm going to share that. And then I'm going to talk about this thing which I think would be at the top of your minds, starts with an A, ends with an I. Does anybody know what it is? The intellectual horsepower in the United States of America is inspiring for the world. So artificial intelligence, we're gonna have a chat about it because after 33 years in the industry, I fundamentally believe we, as an industry, are at a very, very unique point in time. And we, as an industry, also have a responsibility. So at the end of my chat, I'm going to ask for your commitment to make change, to take action against the opportunity that we have collectively in front of us to serve the world. Big statement, serve the world, oh my gosh. It's kind of as big as to empower every person and organization on the planet to achieve more. That's big. We're going to get there together. So this era of AI is here. It's super cool. And what would a Microsoft event be without some videos? I think the leaders of Microsoft were born in the Instagram era because they love their videos. Except our videos are longer than 9 seconds long. Let's get right into it. I'm going to show you some videos. We're going to intersperse this. I'm going to give you some videos about what's happening in the product set. We have our Ignite conference happening right now that's releasing to the world a whole bunch of new stuff that we'll all learn together. But let's kick it off with this concept of, here we are. We stand on the shoulders of giants. In 1965, the chip and this dude named Gordon Moore came up with this concept that the power of the chip, the power of compute, would double every 18 months. 1965, 58 years ago that statement was made. And since that time, we are now in a position where, here we are, the chip is 2 nanometers thick. The actual number of processors, the amount of processors within that chip is around 50 billion. The actual size of those processors is about 5 atoms in size. If you took 2 nanometers, what does it mean? It's effectively 1/100,000th the sliver of a paper. Or, to put it in another frame, it's like taking the entire Earth and putting it into a 1-meter ball. The scale of how we as an industry have evolved is tremendous. And what does that mean? It means together, some of us, and let me ask this as a question, first question, it's going to be a really hard one, but I hope you can hang with me. How many people in the room have been in the industry for more than 10 years? Okay, keep your hand up if it's been more than 15 years. If it's been more than 20, I'm getting up there. I'm feeling a few drop off, 25. Anybody more than 30? Yeah, you legends. Wow, fabulous. 30 years. What have we seen? The beginning of the PC era. We've seen PCs interconnected with servers, client server. We saw this thing, internet, woohoo! The world's at our fingertips. Cloud, oh my gosh, cloud. But cloud didn't come next. It was mobile, then cloud. Each one of those eras, either decades, or if we take about cloud, 10 years. And we're into the next era. This is a little Microsoft video to get you all jazzed up because I'm not doing it. Here we go.
From one perspective, it's a tool. From another perspective, it's a system that can make dreams, thoughts, ideas flourish.
It's fundamentally about amplifying what every person is able to do.
It takes what you prompt it with and just runs with it.
It's magic.
The Microsoft Cloud is amplifying human ingenuity.
We're removing boundaries and creating opportunities to enable people.
And you've got a snapshot in time of exactly what's going on. It's quite impressive.
We're innovating at a scale, at a pace like never before.
Delivering transformational experiences.
No infrastructure changes, no additional personnel, no technical expertise needed.
It allows for the patient and doctor to be a patient and a doctor, like it used to be.
Safeguarding business and data.
One point that was very important for us is responsible AI.
Machine learning can de-bias the data for us.
Together, we can ensure AI's benefits reach every country, every industry, and every individual. When we empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more, we empower the world.
Giddy up. Giddy up. Yeah, let's hear it. Come on. What are we we talking about? It's about us. Wouldn't it be awesome at Thanksgiving dinner if you're all sitting around and you show a video of the family and it's like, yeah! That's fantastic. Okay. Stage number 2 here, setting the scene. We set the table. Here's where the meat is on the fork. We have a mission at Microsoft, but our purpose, and this is the purpose, I'm going to speak specifically about my part of the organization, which reaches a significant element of the economies of the world. My part of the organization. And my team is fully aligned around building a global, digitally scaled organization that is deeply aligned with partners. We at Microsoft think in 2 ways, 2 vectors. One is on solution areas. Solution areas being Azure, modern work, business applications, security, primary solution areas, AI interlaced across it all. That's solution areas. We also think in terms of customers. We think in terms of customers from an industry lens, but at a macro, it's customers by size. And in this case, we divide into enterprise. This group of 14,000 customers comprises the largest 500 companies in the world, the largest government entities, the largest states. As an example, that group comprises $100 billion of Microsoft's revenue. 100 billion. 14,000 customers. You can do the math on the average revenue per customer. It's really exciting. Then we look at the rest of the world. By the way, in a country like Canada, the enterprise customer set is about 330 customers. In a little country like Canada, there's another 1.2 million customers that fit into the next box. So box number 2. And tomorrow, this is a precursor, you're going to have the amazing Alex Badikoff on this stage deconstructing what it means to go to market with Microsoft around corporate customers. 36,000 customers who are in, let's call it the middle space of the customer set. We have a specific go-to-market against those customers. In the enterprise, it is, in many cases, a one-to-one relationship of account executive. In the largest Global 500, I mean, imagine the Walmarts of the world, we have massive teams that are engaging with those customers. Our relationship is in the billions of dollars, frankly. In this space, this is a scale space. 40 to 1 customers per AE, 100 to 200 to 1 ratio of specialists, meaning Azure specialists, modern work specialists, data specialists against a customer. What it means is, for those of you who have managed customers like I have, you've carried a bag, you only have so much capacity. And the only way those customers are served is if we are deeply aligned with you. This is when you go through strategy and you think about what's my strategic intent, what's my organization, what's the talent to achieve that? Well, the clarity becomes really clear that the imperative of how we are engaging with you is the most important thing. And Alex will take you through that in more detail about how we think about it, how we think about the way in which we go to market with offers, with solutions, with incentives against that customer set. And then there's this incredible plethora of customers, about 152 million SMBs around the world. We actively engage on a monthly basis with 15, 20 million of them. It's a big number. Again, we do that pretty much 100% through partners. When I say pretty much, because we have a stage where we actually engage with customers in a renewal cycle to prepare them to pass them to partners. So it is a partner-closed motion, just like corporate is a partner-closed motion. Net summary is, I love you. Yes. Yes, okay. Hey, come on. That's a little, wake up. It's the end of the night. We're so excited. Okay, so there's just, here it is. Kevin can come up front and spout off whatever he wants. Alex can spout off This is basic mathematical quantitative logic. Microsoft will not be successful unless we are deeply intertwined in our engagement with you to do what? To empower the world through the utilization of technology, to fuel the economies of the planet, to make the small business as competitive as the largest of businesses. Which leads me into this next iteration of our little story together today, pre-Thanksgiving, which is our world. It continues to fundamentally change. We experience this coming out of COVID. First of all, we experience it coming into COVID. And the realization is we all know the stories from organizations that went, oh, you know, somewhere deep in the bowels of the basement was a CIO. And that cost center that I've been starving, oh my goodness, it's kind of important as I think about my go-to-market with customers, the way my team members engage, the way we operationally run our organization. Oh my goodness, I think I better elevate that a little bit so that strategy of our technology infrastructure, strategy of technology itself gets intertwined with what we're doing as an organization. Cool. That was one of those scenarios of never waste a good crisis, one of those scenarios of happiness is good for the body, but it's grief which develops the powers of the mind. For those of you, Marcel Proust, wonderful French philosopher. Happiness is grief. It's these stages when we're forced as humanity to reset how we think about the actions we take. Next, societal pressure. The vast majority of the world has a demographic challenge. Population is aging. The skills required to address the requirements of technology are not there. There's a skills shortage. There's an aging population. There is therefore a challenge about what does the future hold? And across that, we're in a sense of economic uncertainty. Energy prices, inflation, higher interest rates. What's it all going to mean? And so as we think about that, this is where we come in. This is the coolest bit, is that for the multiple decades I have been in this industry with many of you, whether it's 20, 30, 10, doesn't matter years, we have had an impact on productivity. We talk about productivity. Oh, if you adopt this, you shall gain productivity. And the reality is it's true. It's true. But what we've seen is not what we will see moving forward. And this is, I would say, one of my biggest personal epiphanies, my aha moment as an individual with the background and experience that I have and that I think as you go through this journey will also potentially have, which is AI is so much different because AI is deeply connected to not the changing nature of technology itself or the new refresh of technology. AI is about delivering outcomes, the eureka moments. The reason why when I'm engaging with end user customers now, I can't remember the last CIO I spoke to. I'm with chief executive officers, chief marketing officers, chief operations officers, CFOs, heads of HR. Because why? Because they recognize that this is different. This is a different fundamental era. And by the way, governments recognize it too. I was in Italy recently, not just to eat pasta, but there's nothing wrong with it. Pasta's awesome. And I was engaging with the ecosystem in Italy. This is a snapshot of research that was done for the government of Italy as they think about what's the future of their country. They are an export economy. They have 30% of their economy is agribusiness. That is exported. They have 4.2 million small, medium businesses. Those businesses are not utilizers of technology. To compete on the global stage, they have discerned, they have determined that they have a fundamental challenge in an aging population that they need to think about how they run Italy Inc. differently. So they came up with this matrix, and I would purport to you that have a think here. To me, the biggest outcome from my perspective is along the y-axis is every industry sector. Along the x-axis across the top are the functions of every organization. And here we have their assessment of the actual adoption of AI across industry sector, across functions. My takeaway from this is, yes, some are at medium high, some are at high at this point in time. That's cool, but where will it be? And how quickly will it be there? If we look at government, government is like public sector way down in the bottom, pretty low take up, but that's not true in all of public sector. If we look at public sector itself, within pockets, you have adopters who are reshaping the way public services are delivered, reshaping them so that citizens can have more value for their money. If we look at early adopters in financial services, well, they've been early on the cloud engagement, haven't they? Because they've made the realization, I'll give you one example of one of the largest banks in my home country that's a globally sustainable financial institution. They determined after 3 years of research and engagement that the multi-billion dollars that they spend, they have budget about $4 billion a year on technology, that the billions of dollars that they spent on their own infrastructure could not be as secure as what they could get from Azure. So the first contract was $300 million, the next contract was $700 million, the next one will be over $1 billion. They worked with the board of directors, they've taken the crown jewels of the bank, the core of their data, and they have put all of that data in the Azure cloud. And they did that a few years ago. So now with AI, they are ready. They've done the work. And they are already in an earlier adopter stage of AI. That's an example of financial services. But here's where the rub is. Every one of those industries is moving up the curve, moving up from low to medium to high at an incredibly accelerated pace. And this is the rub for us. It is, as we see this happen, and you're going to start to see use cases, because let's face it, this is relatively new. Generative AI applied at scale in an enterprise framework with security, compliance in the most regulated industries in the planet. This is relatively new, but it's not just happening onesies and twosies. It's happening at scale. And it's not just happening with the strategic 500. The desire is with the smallest SMBs as well, who have seen the opportunity. Examples here. Number one, in the healthcare sector, WellPoint Health, organization that built on AI the ability for doctors to be 30% more productive. 30%. There's a healthcare crisis across every developed economy on the planet. We have a demographic situation where there's an aging population. It takes 10 years to train a doctor to level 1 of being a doctor. We cannot get the healthcare to the people quick enough. This is a foundational opportunity. Number two, Moody's. This just came out yesterday, 2 days ago. Moody's Financial, 445 million entities, the entirety of their corpus of information they have put into Azure OpenAI, for those of you who stayed for the last session, to be able to reason over it and have natural language search to provide an enhanced service for literally millions of organizations across the planet. And CarMax, I'm going to talk about that in a second. Let's go into health. Just one more, please. I'm a cancer survivor. 18 years ago, I went from less than 50% chance of living to here I am, baby. Yes, thank you. Somebody said, Kevin, you must drink a lot of coffee. And I go, no, I'm just happy to be on this side of the ground. Oh my gosh. Here's the thing. This technology, when our CEO decided many years ago in a very private session to declare that he was going to build the planetary computer to solve and serve the world's most pressing challenges in sustainability, in healthcare, in science, in education, in industry. This is what he was talking about. It is this concept that for pennies, people who have critical challenges, chronic care challenges, can be served differently. That the world's best doctor won't just reside in Dallas or New York or Boston, but the world's best doctor can reside in Topeka and Fargo and name your town. The augmentation, the ability to have pinpoint medicine rather than the chemotherapy that kills the good cells as well. The opportunities are phenomenal. Let's take another industry. Who here has a car? It's America. Everybody has a car. Woohoo! Think about the car industry. What could you do with AI in the car industry? Have a look.
Car buying is a big decision. It's the second largest thing a person will do after buying a home. CarMax disrupted the industry by bringing honesty and transparency. We have tens of thousands of cars on our website or through our app. And without talking to a human being, customers can get overwhelmed.
The challenge that we had was that we only could create so much content. There's manual effort, there's research, the writing, there's the proofreading.
Our writers can only produce so much content a month. It would have taken them years to produce enough pages to be relevant.
Azure OpenAI service allows us to summarize all of the custom reviews and put it in a simple to read and understandable sentence.
We're able to take content and feedback from a lot of other customers, curate it, and create this very tailored content for a specific car.
Through the fine-tuning process, we're at 80% of the content goes through without a human needing to be involved. We're estimating an individual would take 11 years to do what OpenAI service has done in days. We have seen a significant increase in our search engine optimization.
Now, the editorial team, they're able to focus their time on the areas most beneficial to the company and to our customers. There's so much possibility with OpenAI service. We're innovating at a scale, at a pace like never before. It's going to change everything we do.
I love that comment at the end there. We are innovating at a scale and a pace like never before. It's going to change everything that we do, because I think that's the essence of it. And the more I read, the more I research, the more I am understanding that across multiple sectors. And it's statistics like this from early stage that, yes, there's adoption of AI, but what we're seeing is a shift in the nature of work of AI. And what we're seeing when it's applied is phenomenal shifts in productivity. GitHub. I'm going to show you a video about the pace of change in our industry. Kind of blows my mind a bit next. But GitHub was an acquisition of Microsoft. I believe when we acquired them, there were 24 million developers that were in the GitHub ecosystem. There are now over 100 million developers in the GitHub ecosystem. It was one of the first places that we took generative AI, and the productivity enhancement of 55% in a critical area of skills challenge is foundational. And just to put that in scale, when humanity went from agricultural age with the use of human labor and animal labor to steam and engine and mechanical labor, the productivity jump for humanity was about 15%. If you went to a CFO, any CFO, and said, I can give you 3-4% productivity boost, they are all in. How much does it cost? When can you get it? Take a look at what's going on in our industry. The pace of it freaks me out a little bit. Just remain calm. But this is over just the last several months, and this isn't updated for what's been released over the last couple of days.
Today, we are at the start of a new era of computing.
At the center of this new Copilot experience is an all-new Bing search engine and Edge web browser. I'm going to look for a 65-inch TV, but now I want to refine this query. So I can do that by going to chat. We have now a new chat scope. Bing knows the context, and it just goes in and refires the queries.
Imagine every employee having a Copilot that is able to analyze reports, write reports, summarize projects, create a task list, even brainstorm with you.
Introducing Microsoft 365 Copilot. It works alongside you, embedded in the apps millions of people use every day. Now you can be more creative in Word.
Copilot can use your internal document and can give you a first draft. It inserts product images and pulls in relevant visuals from other files. The average person uses less than 10% of what PowerPoint can do. Copilot unlocks the other 90% using just your words. Copilot translates Word into PowerPoint and can even animate the slide.
The real magic of Copilot happens during a live meeting. Here, you're in a meeting with your team. You can ask Copilot to summarize what's happened so far. Copilot is really capturing the spirit of the discussion. As the meeting progresses, you can check on where people stand. You can even ask Copilot what questions are unresolved.
Copilot and Viva will offer leaders an entirely new way of understanding and engaging their workforce.
With Copilot, I can ask questions of my Glint data using natural language. I ask Copilot if teams that coordinate in-office days together are more engaged than those that don't, blending Glint's survey data with Viva Insights and the Microsoft Graph.
Viva Sales now gives sales reps the AI capabilities that enable personalized coaching and intelligence that help sellers push a deal to the next stage and ultimately close more deals. It all works inside Outlook and automatically integrates with the data inside your CRM.
With Copilot and Power Automate, you can automate things in minutes using your own words. With a little direction, Copilot can write a summary of the problem, post that summary in the appropriate Teams channel, and tag the right colleagues to resolve the issue. This now gets seamlessly added to my workflow, getting it just the way I want it.
Developers using Copilot today see a 55% developer productivity boost, and over 40% of all the lines of code that a developer that has Copilot enabled is now actually AI generated.
Microsoft Security Copilot is a game changer, empowering you to defend at the speed of AI.
We deeply integrate Security Copilot with our existing product experiences and workflows, and it will work with third-party security products and data as well.
We think the era of AI is here. We think the ability to capitalize on that is limitless, and we're excited to partner with you.
Boy, this is like a tetraphilion kind of engagement post-turkey, right? You're sitting there, you're all full, and you're going, please no more, I need a nap. We've only just begun, industry. We've only just begun. So if you're a business applications partner of ours, you're looking at the business applications area. If you're an Azure partner, you're looking at the Azure area. Modern work, you're looking at modern work. End to end, this is about everyone achieving more. And the lens that I would ask you to consider is the engagement that you've had of the past within your customer firms. It needs to be broader because it's about every employee, each functional role. It is about the security and IT professionals, of course, and the developers, of course, but it's every functional area. This is the opportunity to truly connect technology to outcomes, which is amazingly awesome. I'm going to show you an example that large financial institution CEO just saw it in our briefing center. And he was sitting there and he wasn't quite sure of what to make of this AI thing. And from his mindset, it's all about how do I think about my organization in a different way. And this is the application of Copilot into business analytics and data, something that is core to businesses of every size. Have a check.
Let's take a look at how Copilot in Power BI is empowering everyone to quickly find and share insights. For example, Sam, an HR analyst who is constantly handling requests from my management to do analysis and provide answers. It can take hours and even days to respond with new reports. Now, with Copilot in Power BI, I can simply describe the report I want to build and get insights in seconds. Maybe I need a breakdown of some of our employee data to understand demographics and hiring trends. I just describe what I need, and Copilot will automatically analyze my data and create a new report based on my needs. Immediately, I have a beautiful Power BI report that has been automatically created and is fully interactive. I can start slicing and dicing my data to explore deeper. Copilot added the charts and slicers I asked for, but also conveniently gives me options to adjust the output to get just what I need. For example, let's switch to ask for metrics and trends in a slightly different layout. automatically Copilot updates the report. Let's go ahead and keep this report page. And it goes much further. I can also ask questions such as, why is our attrition rate going up? Copilot responds by adding a new page to my report and tapping into Power BI's built-in advanced analysis capabilities for finding key influencers for variables in my data. In addition to giving me a summary of an insight about different employee types having different attrition rates, I can easily explore Power BI's key influencer visual to see what's driving the biggest impact on our attrition rate. I can even automatically see the most significant segments in my data just by clicking. Now let's go back to the first page and finish up our new report. I'm going to ask Copilot to make it look like our existing exec dashboard. And instantly, it's applied the same formatting and style and adjusted the layout to match. Best of all, I can still interact directly with the Power BI report that Copilot has created. So, for example, if I wanted to manually change this bar chart to a tree map on my own, it's easy to do with just a few clicks. Let's add employee functional area, and now I can filter by this new field. Finally, to make the report even easier for my team to understand, I'm going to ask Copilot to add a rich text description of my data right inside the report. This narrative summary is fully dynamic, and not only does Copilot highlight interesting insights from my data,
boom,
it will update the summary every time the data is refreshed, or people filter the report. And just like that, in seconds, I've created a report that would have taken hours or days to do manually. Copilot built on top of Azure OpenAI is truly revolutionary for how we empower everyone to find and share insights.
That last element there, where it's one thing to ask the data, create some charts for me. It's another to interpret the data into the key highlights and insights from the data. I've played with this. I've seen it at work. Oh, it's one of those, oh my goodness moments. And so you can imagine a CEO who knows what questions to ask, but certainly doesn't have the technical skills to do so. How they envision the ability to reason over data to make decisions that matter. And this is why personal productivity has kind of changed forever. It has changed forever. The ability to have an assistant at all times to leverage the essence of the data that we interact with every day. And if you're in the Microsoft ecosystem, the average heavy user receives 250 emails a day. They have 150 team chats a day. They go out to 11 different applications to source information, not including the sourcing they do on the World Wide Web and other things. That's an average day. Imagine the ability to reason over that information, to find it without having to look for it. That is the differential. Because it comes down to when you're engaging with your customers or even within your own firms, this is your opportunity to be an advocate within your own firms, to be the change agent. It's about an enriched experience for employees, a different customer engagement or experience, a shift in how the organizations that you deal with fundamentally operate. Oh my gosh. Which puts us into a position to help our clients accelerate innovation in a way that we've never seen before. And we're doing this very deliberately. We're doing it by thinking about, within your organizations, what's the recruitment and retaining of top talent? Your customers want top talent. They want modern infrastructures. They want modern environments to help them grow and also to help them manage risk and compliance. And the platforms that we've developed that we will go to market together with give us an opportunity to do that across the entirety of the infrastructure within an organization. From the C-suite through to the frontline leaders where we can apply Power Apps, through to those in the line of business where we can be deliberate about building applications, through to those in the developer space to augment and provide a 55% productivity improvement to the developers, super hard to find. Let's get them working on the most innovative projects. To security, 5 million open security roles around the world. Security Copilot already launched in pre-prod, and it's being utilized by customers. Next, in business development, whether it's client success, marketing, operations, financial and operations, applying a Copilot to that. And then, of course, from a data perspective, to be able to apply it there. And here's the piece de resistance. That's French for the big cake and ice cream too, which is Microsoft 365 Copilot. The concept that we've been talking about as an industry for a long time. Pulling it all together and reasoning over the data sets that we have. Every email, every document, every chat, the ability to leverage the corpus of information that we have as humans to utilize it in a fundamentally different way. So I'm going to show you one more video, and it's going to take me to the end of my time. So I'm going to ask Vince if I can have 2.5 minutes after that. But I think this is an important one. And it's this view of what does Microsoft Chat look like? Because, by the way, it went live, GA, general availability, on November 1st. This is not vaporware. This is not some truck that's stainless steel that you'll see in 5 years. This is, sorry, that's not appropriate. This is live. Please imagine your customers, the way in which they will fundamentally shift their work habits. And this is going to take you through a journey of what that looks like and what it will be like, not just for a few organizations, but for millions of organizations that you're going to enable.
Introducing Microsoft 365 Chat, a powerful new capability in Microsoft 365 to solve your most complex problems at work. Let's say you're a marketer at a national chain of home improvement stores, and you need to get the latest on the store opening. You start your day with Copilot, asking what's hot in your inbox today. It does some thinking and gives you an overview of the most pressing items. Great. Looks like the new store opening plans could use your attention. Let's dive in deeper there. Copilot combs through all your recent emails, chats, documents, and meetings, whether you attended them or not, to get you up to speed in moments. It didn't just summarize a single document. It knew what sources to pull from and what information to extract from each. Next, you need to do some market research. Let's say you want details on square footage and the proximity of competitors to your new location. M365 Chat scours the web, and within seconds, it finds everything you're looking for. And it includes references, so you can easily fact-check the results. You're curious, how does this stack up against the other stores you're opening in the past year? Copilot figures out which stores you mean, crunches the numbers, and gives you the answer. Next on your to-do list, finalize the date and speaker for the opening event. You missed the last meeting, and this might have come up in the conversation. Copilot's got you covered, getting you up to speed in seconds. Looks like it was a dynamic discussion, and it's your responsibility to make a final decision. To do that, you need to understand all the factors at play, including the implications they have on your grand opening timeline. Copilot extracts the relevant details and puts them in an organized table, which helps bring the full picture into view. You're not seeing a clear answer, so you ask it to recommend the best date and speaker based on the constraints discussed. It not only understands the constraints, it thinks through the options to help solve your problem. There you go. Now you have a clear recommendation, so you can make the call and notify the team. Now that you've got the opening date, you've got to get customers excited. Time to write a blog post. You point Copilot to the right files and ask it to tune the message to the audience. Note the amount of detail, such as asking it to pick the top 5 things and make them prominent. Here it goes. Copilot gets to work. Okay, now you've got a blog post. This store will be the first to unveil your new home improvement concierge service, and you need a catchy tagline. Let's generate some options. This is great for when you've got a case of writer's block. Here we go. These look pretty good. Lastly, you want to highlight the impressive retail experience of the new store manager. Best source for that? LinkedIn. Copilot generates an updated blog for you that includes the new additions. Now, the opening is just around the corner, and you've got to send an email to the team so they have everything they need to push this over the finish line. Now, one of the amazing things about Copilot is you don't need to worry about things like punctuation, spelling, or being super structured. You can give it a total brain dump. You could spend the next hour putting together an email that outlines the key details, but with Copilot, you're never more than a few seconds away from a solid first draft. There was a great quote in the store walkthrough video that you want to include, but you don't remember where you last saw it or have time to search for it, let alone re-watch it to find the quote. Based on your quick description, Copilot finds the exact video you're thinking of, extracts the quote you wanted, and plugs both the quote and the video into your email. So, you like the draft, but it doesn't sound like you. Introducing Sound Like Me in Outlook. Now you can personalize any email to match your unique style and voice. And check this out. It even knows your signature. M365 Chat is a whole new way to work.
Oh my goodness, huh? Yeah. When I first saw that, that was my next eureka moment of, wow, consider how much time and energy it would take to just complete a few of those tasks, let alone the new way of working, which allows for the completion of all of those tasks with an assistant over your shoulder. And here's the thing, which we gotta love about this industry, is we ain't seen nothing yet. In the next 10 years, it's expected that the technology we have today will be 20 times more powerful. In the next 20 years, that technology will be 1,000 times more powerful. As a human being, I can't conceive of that. To be able to double capacity as a human being would take a lifetime. Triple capacity, 4 times, 5 times. You start to get into scaling challenges mathematically that I can't conceive of what that'll look like. But here's the scenario is, if you're sitting there going, oh, well, you know, the partner beside me will figure it out, or somebody back at the office, if it's someone else, not me, the time has run out. This is from Bain Consulting. Their foundational principle here is that the economic paradigm is so significant that if you're not already taking action, you are falling behind. It's a bit of a Darwinian moment. And so in that regard, I have this call out. Please consider. Think about what you do today as a partner organization. Power your AI practice with amplifying ingenuity. Start first with a Copilot. We're spending significant engineering energy on top of a significant investment in cloud platform to be able to deliver transformational experiences with a Copilot and with OpenAI. The ability for you to have services in both to engage your clients. Third, ensure that as we do this, we continue to safeguard our clients' data, and we do so in an incredibly secure and compliant way. Because that builds trust, that ensures the brand of your organization and the brand of Microsoft are at the highest of standards. Next, this is one of those moments. I was recently in Brazil. They love their coffee in Brazil. Oh my gosh. People on average have 10 espresso shots a day. Imagine me. I don't drink coffee at all. I would be off the walls. It'd be awesome. Here it is. The old line, wake up and smell the coffee. This is what I've told myself. Kev, this is your moment. This is your time to wake up and smell the coffee. Back in November, I started doing some research. When we launched in March, I went, oh my goodness. This is going to change the world, and I don't know anything about it. So every single day, and this is not one of these exaggerations, every single day, 30 minutes to an hour and a half, I read, I research, and I'll tell you, I am in no way even close to being an expert. There are so many people around Microsoft that could make me look like a kindergarten student and that's 4 years old. However, I have significantly more knowledge than I had. I have a much greater insight into where the puck will be, not where the puck is, for that sports lovers out there, of where the industry will be, where our customers will be, than where they are today. So here's my action for everybody in the room, if I may be so bold, as a little Canadian coming down to the United States, mighty America. Please, please, this is your coffee moment. This is our coffee moment as an industry. Like, who's going to do it if it's not us? Who? I shared this with my team in a town hall. I just went, this is so clear to me that this is not what we have experienced in the past. This is foundational. And the energy that will be required from us will be significant. But the opportunity for us to empower others will be beyond anything we've achieved before. So it's our moment. Last slide. Therefore, the time is now. Be intentional internally in your organization about business outcomes. Be intentional with your customers. They will want to do Copilot AI everywhere. Start them off with intentionality. Connect strategy to outcomes. Help them deliver the first outcome. And I'm telling you, you'll be delivering outcome after outcome after that. Number 2, please. You've heard about some of the cloud programs that we have here at Microsoft. We're redesigning them. We designed them for you. We've aligned our incentive structure to support the engagement of you with our customers in the critical space of corporate customers and SMBs. We want this to be a democratized moment in society, not just the largest, but also the smallest to participate, and you play such a critical role in that. And number 3, please, along building your SMC muscle, drive the development of skills and capabilities for yourself and within your team. That is absolutely imperative. I've already seen many partners start to create offers, being intentional about what you will be good at. That will be foundational as we deliver together. So on behalf of my team all around the world, on behalf of Microsoft, the little software company that's done okay, we are only here because of you. You know, I hope I made that clear in the logic up front. So I deeply thank you for the work that we do together. I thank you for your patience in moments of frustration. And I thank you for the journey we will take moving forward. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Ultimate Guide to Partnering. Online at ultimateguidetopartnering.com. If you liked this episode, I'd be thrilled if you left us up to a 5-star review on either Apple or Spotify. This helps us to continue to feature amazing guests. Also, please check out and subscribe to our new YouTube channel, Ultimate Partner. We'll catch you next time on the Ultimate Guide to Partnering.